Right here.
Your name Candy Beard.
Yes, sir.
Could you please spell that for the court reporter?
Candy Beard, B-E-A-R-D.
Thank you, Ms. Beard.
And you're gonna have to speak in directly into that microphone, please, ma'am.
A little bit up. There you go. Just make sure you're close to it, okay? All right. What is your relationship with Ethan Beard?
He is my son.
And so would it be fair to say you've known him his entire life?
Yes, sir.
How long has he lived here in Humphreys County?
All of his life.
Did he graduate high school here?
Yes, sir. In McEwen.
Does he have family here?
Yes, sir.
How much of his family resides here?
All of them.
Does he have friends here to your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Are most of his friends here in Humphreys County?
Yes, sir.
To your knowledge, has he ever been charged with a crime other than this case?
No, sir.
Would you say that what would you say about his character for reliability? Is he a reliable person?
Yes, sir.
Would you vouch for his character for
Yes, sir.
reliability? Have you ever known him to be untrustworthy?
Yes, sir.
That's all I have.
Todd, no question?
Yes, Justice Brewer. Ms. Beard,
Yes, ma'am.
did you say that you are Mr. Beard's mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you testified that you believe him to be reliable and trustworthy?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And of course, he hasn't had any prior charges,
No, ma'am.
but he has had some charges, right? He's had a driving unsuspended charge.
Well, yes, ma'am.
It's not completely accurate to say he's had no charges.
Well, I didn't think about that, so sorry.
That's all right. Are you aware of the allegations against Mr. Beard in the cases that are now pending before the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you understand that Mr. Beard is charged with two B felony counts of child abuse and neglect.
I just don't believe that.
Well, I didn't ask you that. I said,
Yes,
you understand
ma'am.
he's charged with
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
You understand he's charged with aggravated assault against his ex-girlfriend,
Yes, ma'am.
mother of his children,
Yes, ma'am.
as well as domestic assault against her.
Yes, ma'am.
You aware he's left bruises and marks on his ex-girlfriend? I'm asking if you're aware that that's the allegation that's been made.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware of the allegation that he's left bruises and marks on all 4 children that were in the home?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're aware of all those things, but you still feel he is a reliable, trustworthy individual?
I would
Yes, ma'am.
judge to the relevance regarding the children. I don't think that that's charged in this case.
The state would just respond that obviously the other 2 children are not part of this case. It would not be admissible at trial, but it does go for purposes of whether or not he is any kind of danger to the community, things that would be relevant to a bond hearing specifically.
Bond hearings are a little different, so more factors are allowed to come in to allow the court to make an intelligent decision. So overrule the
Thank you.
objection.
Thank you, Judge. So where would Mr. Beard live if he were to get out of jail?
He would live at my house.
Who all lives at your house?
Just me.
Do you know if Mr. Beard has a job or the ability to get a job?
He don't have a job now, but hopefully after, if he gets out, then he will get one.
But he didn't have a job when he was arrested either, did he?
No, ma'am.
Does Mr. Beard, do you have other family here in the community?
Yes, ma'am.
Who are, or what's the closest other relatives that he has?
His sister.
Sister?
Yes.
And moving on to another case of Mr. Beard's. Are you aware that he's been charged for theft and vandalism for stealing water from the city of Waverly?
Yes, but yet can I also say that Kate knew about that because.
That's not the question I asked you. I asked if you were aware that he was charged for theft.
Okay. Yes,
He's the
ma'am.
one trying to get a bond reduction here.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Do you think theft charge is an indication of someone being reliable and trustworthy?
Yes, ma'am.
That doesn't bother you?
Is there an answer?
I don't think so. I think did you shake your head? I could not tell. If you could answer yes or no.
Yes.
And are you aware that after your son was charged with aggravated assault and domestic assault against Miss Miller, that he attempted to call her multiple times from the jail in direct violation of the bond conditions?
No, ma'am. I wasn't aware of that.
Well, he is charged with that. Would you have any reason to not believe me if I tell you he's charged with that?
No, ma'am. I believe you.
No further questions, Judge.
You redirect.
Yes, Judge. As far as his character for reliability, would you say that stealing water from Waverly, would that be consistent or inconsistent with his character generally?
That's not even, so it is inconsistent.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your answer.
Inconsistent. And that's not even.
Okay. And as far as the allegations against him, are you aware, has he been convicted of those charges yet?
No, not that I know of.
And as far as the allegations of domestic assault, had you ever personally observed Mr. Beard get into arguments with Caitlin Miller?
Yes.
Okay. And who was the primary aggressor during the times that you observed?
Whenever I observed and I got videos of it, it was Kate.
Okay. And was he trying to leave and she kept following around the house?
Yes, sir.
And would you say that attempting to choke Caitlin Miller unprovoked would that be consistent with his character or inconsistent?
That's not even, so inconsistent.
Okay, so for all the time that you've known him, would you say that his character, what you know about him would make you shocked to learn that he actually did what he's accused of being charged?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Any reading calls, General?
No, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am. You may step down. You have a seat in the courtroom if you like. All right, next witness.
Brittany Frederick? Brittany Frederick? Yes, ma'am. Brittany Frederick?
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall now give in this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. I do. Let's see.
Do me a favor and just speak directly into that microphone. Could you please state and spell your name?
It's Brittany Lachey Frederick, BRITTANYLESHIE
And do you know Mr. Ethan Beard?
I do.
And how do you know?
We were together for 2 years.
And How long have you known him in total?
I would say probably about 7, 8 years.
I'm sorry, did you say 8 years?
7 or 8 years, yeah.
Just speak with your full chest, if you don't mind. It would really help her out. Thank you. And you said that you were together for 2 years. Was that immediately before he began his relationship with Caitlin Miller?
Yes.
And do you feel like during all the time that you've known him, that you know him well enough to have a pretty accurate opinion as to his character?
Yes.
Do you feel like you have known him well and long enough to have an accurate opinion as to his character for being a violent or non-violent person?
Yes.
What is your opinion?
He's not violent. Ethan is a loving and caring person. He's a family man.
Do you feel like you've known him long and well enough to form a pretty accurate opinion as to his character for trustworthiness?
Yes.
What is that opinion?
He's definitely trustworthy.
Have you known him to be a reliable person?
Yes.
Does he do what he says he's going to do?
Yes.
Would you be willing to vouch for his reliability?
Yeah, absolutely.
Has he lived in Humphreys County his entire life?
Yes.
Do you know, does he have any family or friend connections outside of Humphreys County? Any meaningful connections?
Not that I know of.
Did you know Caitlin Miller at all?
I did not.
That's all I have.
No questions, Judge.
Thank you. You may step down.
Thank you.
All right, next witness.
Yes, Judge. The next witness I would call is Erica Carter. Erica Carter? Yes.
So Brown here, please, ma'am, raise your right hand and be placed under oath.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I give in this case shall be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes.
That's it.
Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
Erica.
We have to move
If I
up.
could be-
We don't have a very good sound system. You have to really directly speak into that microphone.
Erica
Just
Carter.
like this.
Erica Carter. ERICA. What's my last name? DARTER.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What is your relationship with Ethan Beard?
His sister.
Would it be fair to say you've known him his whole life?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel like you know him well enough to have an accurate opinion as to whether he's a trustworthy or an untrustworthy person?
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion?
I feel like he's a trustworthy person.
Do you,
Family man.
do you feel like you know him well enough to form a pretty accurate opinion as to whether he's a violent or a not violent person?
Yes.
Is he a violent or
He's not.
how is he with children?
He loves children. He's a good uncle too.
To your knowledge, are all of his family and friends here in Humphreys County?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever had an occasion to watch or to observe an argument between him and Caitlin Miller?
No.
You never saw them argue with each other?
I mean, like physical?
No, just argument.
Yeah.
Who would you say was the more angry person during that argument? Who lost their temper? Was it Ethan or was it Caitlin?
Yeah.
Was Ethan trying to diffuse the situation and calm her down?
Yeah.
Did you have an occasion to observe Mr. Beard's children that he has with Caitlin Miller after he was incarcerated?
A time or two. Yes, sir.
What was their condition?
when they showed up to the, my sister-in-law, I guess you would say, their diapers were saturated, and sorry, I'm like stuttering, I'm really nervous. And I guess they haven't had a bath in a few days, and I don't know, the little girl's hair was really tangled and knotted up. She actually had to have her hair cut because I don't.
How was Ethan in terms of taking care of him when he was out?
I was told that he was always
I'm gonna
the,
object to hearsay.
he was always the one that.
Hold on, there's an objection. When there's an objection, you need to stop talking.
Yes, sir.
The objection is to hearsay, Mr. Simpson.
I'll withdraw the question.
Sustain the objection.
That's all I have, Judge.
Well,
Ms. Carter,
Mhm.
you were testifying a minute ago about the condition of the children.
Yes.
Is that, what time frame are you referring to?
It was like right before, or no, right after he went to jail.
Now, he didn't work, did he?
He did off and on in their relationship.
But he wasn't working at the time of this incident, was he?
No, ma'am. He was, I guess you would call the babysitter.
But Miss Miller was working, wasn't she?
Correct.
Are you aware of the current pending charges against your brother?
Somewhat.
You aware that he's been charged with aggravated assault and domestic assault against Miss Miller?
Yes, ma'am.
You aware that he is charged with choking her, with threatening to kill her, things like that? Are you aware that he is charged with child abuse?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you aware that there were bruises on the children when they were found in his care?
I was told that. Yes.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
I was aware. I saw that. I mean,
You've
I heard that. Yes.
You're aware of the charges is what I'm asking.
Yes, ma'am.
You're aware he's also charged with stealing thousands of dollars worth of water from the city of Waverly?
Yes. And she.
I didn't ask you about that. I just asked if he was aware of the charge.
Yes, ma'am.
But despite of all that, you think he's all right?
Yes.
He can come home and be all right?
I hope so.
All right. No further questions, Judge.
thank you. Any redirect?
Briefly, Judge. You're asking questions on cross-examination. I know you're nervous. You're almost done. You're asking questions on cross-examination about the charges that are pending against Mr. B.
Mhm.
Based on everything that you know about him and everything that you've seen, would you be shocked if he actually did what he's accused of? Would that be out of character for him
Yeah.
in terms of the aggravated assault and the assault?
Yes.
Would that be well outside of the Ethan Beard that you know?
Mhm. Very much so.
And as far as him, these allegations, uncharged allegations regarding his children, would him leaving bruises on his children be well outside of his character as well?
Yes.
In all the times that you saw him with the children, did you ever observe anything that would make you concerned about his ability to take care of them
No.
in terms of abusing?
No, she would yell at him to discipline the kids before he even had kids with her.
That's all I have.
Nothing further.
Thank you, ma'am. You may sit down. Our next witness.
Yes, Judge, next witness would be Marshall Beard.
Beer, come around here, please. Ask you to raise your right hand and be placed under oath.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I give in this case should be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. You have a seat.
Could you do me and the court reporter a favor, and when you talk, could you get right about this close to the microphone? Like you're trying to eat it. Thank you. All right. Could you please state and spell your name for the record?
Marshall Allen Beard, Marshall, SHALL, Allen, ALLEN, Beard, BEARD,
What is your relationship with Ethan Beard?
his uncle.
Have you known him his entire life?
Yes, sir.
How would you say that you two are close with one another? Have you two worked together in the past?
Yes, sir.
Have you observed his interactions with Caitlin Miller during their relationship?
Yes.
Do you feel like you know him well enough to form an accurate opinion as to his character for trustworthiness?
Yes, sir.
Is he an honest or a dishonest person? What is that?
He always been honest with me.
Do you feel like you know him well enough to form an accurate opinion as to his character for being violent or not violent?
Not that I know of. He's never been violent.
Would you say that being violent would be out of character for him? Or would you know him well enough to say that?
I know well enough to say that he's not really a person.
Is he an easygoing guy?
Yes.
Have you ever, during your observation of either him and Caitlin Miller, him and the children, was there ever anything that was concerning to you in terms of him being violent towards them?
No, they love that Jay.
To your knowledge, do all of his friends and family reside here in Humphreys County?
Yes.
Are you able and willing to help support him through these proceedings in terms of making sure he's got a place to stay and all that sort of stuff?
I don't know.
That's all that I have.
Ross?
Yes, Mr. Beard,
Yes,
did you
sir.
say he would be living with you?
I'm sorry.
He wouldn't be living with, can you say yes or no?
No.
He would not be living with you? Okay. Did you live with Mr. Beard and Miss Miller when they were together?
No, ma'am.
So you didn't observe their day-to-day interactions, did you?
No, they always came to my house, me and my brother's house.
I'm sorry, could you speak up a little bit louder?
Him and Caitlin has always came to mine and my brother's house.
Okay, so I'm just asking you, you didn't live with them, you didn't see how they acted from day to day?
No.
Okay, so you don't know everything that went on in that home, do you?
No, ma'am.
No further questions, Judge.
Anything further?
Yes, kind of based on cross. Did you know Caitlin Miller outside of her relationship with Ethan Beard?
Brother's sister.
Do you feel like you know her very well? No. All right, well, that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. You may step down. Our next witness.
I think that's all I have at this time, Judge.
Defense has rested their proof on the motion for bond reduction, so I call your first witness if you have him.
Yes, Judge, I call Officer Corey Field.
Corey Fields.
You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony I give in this case should be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Thank you very much.
Could you state your full name for this court, please?
Corey Field,
Where are you employed?
Waverly Police Department.
Were you working for them back in December, January, or December of 24, January of 25?
Yes, ma'am.
During the time frame these things happened?
I was.
Okay. Can you tell the court how you initially made contact or became aware of these allegations against Mr. Beard?
I received a phone call from Captain Wilson. I believe it was Corey Burnett had reached out to him about the allegations. Ms. Caitlin Miller and I forget his name, Justin Chance Miller were at a house on Main Street, wanted to speak with an officer about it. The other two children that were involved said that Justin Miller said that he had found bruising on the children.
Objection to hearsay.
objection is to hearsay, John.
Well, Judge, I would say it's not being offered for the truth of any matter asserted. It's to establish how the officer was made aware that something needed to be investigated, or he needed to speak with Mr. Beard or do some kind of
I
investigation.
think you can testify about the fact that he was investigating something without repeating the hearsay, so I sustain the objection.
You were made aware of certain allegations.
The
against
complaint
Mr.
was these allegations. Yes, ma'am. I should rephrase. So I spoke with them on scene and was made aware of these allegations. And was also made aware that the two youngest children were currently at home with Mr. Beard. And he was along with them. And then it was at that time that I spoke with Caitlin Miller, who broke down in front of me and was very frantic, I'd say. She was crying, she was shaking, she was seemed afraid. Given the allegations, she also had pictures at that time. I believe she had pictures at that time. She had pictures in her possession. I can't testify that I saw them at that time, but
Do you recall what the photos were, what they were?
significant bruising to her. Several pictures of significant bruising to her neck, her throat area, her arms. Given the allegations of abuse to her and her allegations of his abuse toward herself and all four children, and the fact that he was home alone with two of these children at that time, we went directly to the house to go ahead and take him into custody before taking out felony warrants for aggravated assault.
So you were going to take out a felony warrant against him?
Yes, ma'am.
So it wasn't just a warrant for domestic assault, it was a warrant for felony.
It was for a felony aggravated assault strangulation, based on her statements from an assault that occurred.
Okay. And do you recall how old the children were that were in the home?
I believe they were 4 and 7-ish. I'd have to refer to my report on that one. They were younger than 8.
Okay. If your report said they were 2 and 3 years old, would that be correct?
That's probably more accurate, yes, ma'am.
So who all was with you when you went out to this residence?
Officer Campbell, and I believe Miss Caitlin Miller's sister, Lauren Robertson.
I'm sorry, what's the name?
I wish I could tell you. I believe it's Robertson or Robertson, something like that.
Okay, I just mean
I'm
as far as
sorry.
officers go.
Just McCampbell,
Okay.
Officer McCampbell and myself.
Okay. And is that residence here in Humphreys County, the city of Waverly? Okay. When you got there, did you attempt to make contact with Mr. Beard?
We did. We knocked on the door multiple times. We announced ourselves. I heard what sounded like a young child yelling inside of the house. I went around to the side of the house, following where I was hearing the yelling coming from, and found a bedroom window that was wide open. I yelled through that open window to try to make some kind of contact. I never heard anything other than this one child yelling. I had every reason to believe that either he was in there with them, and if he wasn't in there with them, then now we have a child that's in there by themselves. So
Did you announce that you were police?
multiple times, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you attempt to make entry through the front door?
We did. Someone there had a key that I guess Ms. Miller had provided. So we were able to unlock the door rather than having to kick it in. But when we unlocked the door, I found that it was barricaded, closed. There was a railing from a baby crib that was wedged up underneath I believe it was wedged up underneath the doorknob. I had to force the door open to get into the home. We entered the home. I had my taser drawn at this point, which normally would have been a firearm, but given the fact that we knew there were children there, I didn't want to do that unless it's necessary. We went toward the direction of where the screaming had come from, and saw Mr. Beard at the end of the hallway in a bedroom, sitting on a bed with the two children next to him. I gave him verbal commands to show me his hands and come toward me, which he did not immediately do. He, I guess you could say, kind of ushered the kids. He had the kids get up, and then ultimately I guess you could say he kind of put the kids between us, between myself and him. Ultimately, he did stand up though, and cooperated and walked to me, and he was taken into custody without incident.
But initially, he put the children between you and him.
He didn't physically grab them and put them there, but he kind of, as you would, usher to, direct them to stand up and walk down the hallway.
Regardless of how he did it, they were between you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had your taser drawn.
Yes, ma'am.
And he was the only one in the house with the children.
Yes, ma'am.
And what did the children look like?
They were very dirty. The house was very cold due to it being January and the window being open. Hair was matted. There were bruises on them.
And check to relevance. I don't think this has anything to do with charges, and I don't think it has anything to do with
Your Honor, his charge.
what's going to happen if I may finish my judgment. With what's going to happen were he to do what he's talking about.
Judge, it has everything to do with the charge. It's charged with 2 counts of being felon and child abuse.
The issue has been raised by the defense by putting on all of this proof of all of these multiple witnesses about his lack of potential for violence and abuse of the children. So clearly this would be evidence to contradict or impeach the testimony of those witnesses. Overrule the objection.
Thank you, Judge.
One of the bruises in particular that was of particular interest to me was on I forget which child. There was a bruise on one of these children on their upper arm that appeared to be a handprint. And given the fact that the information that I had going in was the fact they had been alone with Mr. Beard for quite some time, as Ms. Miller was the only one working in the home, these bruises appeared to be pretty fresh. Looked like a handprint on them. There were bruises on the legs of these kids. They were wearing nothing but a diaper, which was very soiled and heavy. It was cold in the house. There was no clothes. When we looked for clean clothes to put on them, we could not find any.
Couldn't find any clean clothes with children?
Nor could we find any diapers.
Okay. And as you were going, you had to find Mr. Beard. He was in the back bedroom.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did you initially know he was back there, or did you have to find him?
We didn't know where he was when we entered the house. When we came into the house, it's a ranch style home. When we came into the living room, there's a hallway, and we looked down the hallway, and he was sitting in the room on the bed in the back bedroom.
And in the process of that, did you have an opportunity to observe the general condition of the home too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What was that like?
Very, I would say neglected, but more so. There were animal feces all over the home. Carpets were soiled with feces, urine, trash piled up in the corners, mouse feces on the countertops, cigarette ashes all over the place. In the bedroom that he was in, which appeared to be one of the children's room, he was sitting on a mattress with there was no sheets or anything. There was, I believe there was animal feces in that room. In the adjacent room that appeared to be his room, we later learned was his. There were cigarette burns all in the mattresses. There was a full coffee can full of cigarette butts and ashtrays sitting on the bed right next to a marijuana pipe and what appeared to be a rolling tray with marijuana residue on it. And it was a video game that was paused, which stood out to me because it seemed like, I'd have to speculate, but video game being paused, like it had just been turned off or just been stopped when we showed up.
Okay. So you took photos of the children and of the home, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have provided to the state the photos of Miss Miller and her bruising that she had on her, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So Mr. Beard was charged with child abuse or neglect under the child abuse and neglect statute, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And at that time, he also had a felony warrant taken out against him for aggravated assault against Miss Miller, correct?
Correct. So we didn't, I secured the warrants after taking him into custody.
That's what I mean,
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am. They were all taken out at the same time.
Okay. And Mr. Beard also, as far as his charges go, he received 11 counts of violation of bond conditions after he got to the jail, correct?
I believe that's correct. Yes, ma'am.
What would that have been for?
He contacted Miss Miller from the jail, and I listened to those phone calls. And in those phone calls, Miss Miller never stated a word. You could hear her trembling and crying, but she never said anything. He stated multiple times in these phone calls that he knew that he was not supposed to contact her, and that he knew that he was probably going to get in trouble for contacting her. And just to clarify too, I don't believe there were 11 phone calls that she answered. There was one call that she answered that I listened to, but I believe 11 attempts.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
All right. And then, are you aware of another set of charges against Mr. Beard of theft and vandalism?
Yes, ma'am.
And can you tell the court what the basis of those are?
So a couple days after Mr. Beard was arrested, my understanding is that Ms. Miller went to the City of Waverly Water Department to have the utilities put into her name because with him being incarcerated, now she was trying to keep the lights on and such. And when she went to put her the water into her name because she had never dealt with it before, I guess it more or less flagged it in the system. My understanding is that the water had been cut off to the residents about 2 years prior, and some kind of issue with with their systems for some reason. The City of Waverly was not aware that the water service had the house had been getting water again after it had been cut off. But when she went to apply to put the water into her name, and they looked at that account, they realized that this house has been receiving water for the past 2 years after it had been locked. So a utility worker went to the house, checked the meter, and found that the lock that they had put on the meter had been cut off and removed.
So a lock had been broken on the meter.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And that account was in the name of Mr. Beard.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And he had been effectively stealing water for about 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And based on that, did he get charged with felony theft and vandalism?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
And all these charges occurred about the same time, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions, Judge.
Sensing, we will cross-examine.
As an initial matter, you drafted a couple incident reports that detailed your investigation into this case. Is that correct?
Correct.
And is it fair to say that you put every major observation that you made during your investigation into those reports?
I believe I did.
And is it fair to say that you detailed every major action you took during the course of your investigation into those reports?
I believe that's fair to say, yes, sir.
It's fair to say you're trained that that's important to do, right?
Yes.
And is it fair to say that your memory was fresher then about everything than it is now?
Most definitely.
You also testified at the preliminary hearing in this case. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And again, fair to say that your memory was fresher then than it is now.
Yes.
So with that in mind, I just have some questions. Now, you testified that you had responded to a call concerning certain allegations. Is that correct?
Correct.
But those allegations weren't the abuse allegations against Ms. Miller.
Excuse me?
The initial allegations didn't have anything to do with Caitlin Miller being abused.
When I went to the address, I believe the only information I had at the time was that something about child abuse. This was not out, these were not called directly to dispatch. It was, which this happens often in a small town. Someone will call the captain or the chief or the sheriff, or whoever, and we'll get relayed to that to investigate it. But I can't recall honestly as to our initial, if it was just the children or if it was children and Miss Miller. I don't believe it was Miss Miller.
Initially, that's something that came,
Yes.
and that's something that came out when you approached her to ask about what's going on.
Yes, sir.
And that call came in on January 12th of this year.
Correct.
And Miss Miller is not the one, as you said, who originally called it.
No, sir.
And the most recent alleged assault that she talked to you about occurred on December 2nd of 2024.
Yes, sir.
So that's over a month ago.
Yes, sir.
Was all of your interactions with all the witnesses at the scene, as well as Ms. Miller, was that captured on your body cam?
It was.
Is that body cam footage still available?
It is not.
Now, you testified on direct that you had received some photographs from Ms. Miller about her injuries. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But this was afterward. This wasn't at the scene. She sent them to you later.
I believe it was either that night after he was taken into custody or the following day when she came in. So this was late at 10 o'clock or later that this happened. She came in the following day, I believe, gave a written statement as well. And I'd have to refer to my report, but those pictures were either given to me that night or the following day. I'm not sure which.
Okay. And it was 10 p.m. after you had arrested and booked in Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Would it be fair to say that you originally responded about 6:30?
That sounds about right. Yes.
And do you recall how she sent them to you? Did she email them to you or text them to you?
She had them on her phone, and they were time stamped over the course of several months, which is why she was able to give a detailed account of the dates that these allegations of abuse had occurred, which was documented in her written statement. She had her phone with her. I reviewed the photos on her phone for the purpose of viewing the timestamps on the photos to see when they were taken. And then they were airdropped, I believe, from her phone to my iPad that I do my reports and stuff off of work.
So she had an iPhone?
I believe she did. They were sent directly from her phone to my, they were either emailed or I think they were airdropped. I couldn't say for sure.
But your recollection was that they were airdropped?
I believe they were.
You didn't actually get a forensic copy of her phone, did you?
No, sir.
I believe so prior to you getting the pictures, and let me just back up really quick. The allegations prior to placing Mr. Beard under arrest, all of the allegations as far as Ms. Miller and the children that they shared together, she just had alleged that he had been abusive towards her.
Correct. Oh, no, wait, hold on. What, can you ask that again? I think I may have been.
As far as the children that they shared with one another,
Right.
And those children were the ones who were present with Mr. Beard in the home when you placed him under arrest.
Right.
Prior to you placing him under arrest, the only allegations that Ms. Miller made were about him assaulting her.
No, that is not correct.
Oh. And you have a transcript of the preliminary hearing. I believe your testimony starts on page 21. So you could turn to there, and then once you're satisfied that that's an accurate reflection of your testimony, I'd ask you to turn to page 33. All right, are you on page 33?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall testifying at the preliminary hearing words that, quote, Ms. Miller didn't seem to be aware of the actual physical child abuse part of it, because she stated that she put herself between him and the children, so I guess she didn't feel that he was much of a danger to you.
So I guess to clarify that,
But you did say that.
yes, I'm not disputing anything that's said in this. I believe I may have misspoke or stated that poorly. Ms. Miller did state, and I believe it is also in my narrative on the report that was done before this testimony. She did state that, like I said, she said that she had put herself between him and the children, that he had been abusive to her and the children, that this had been a situation that they were living in for some time. I believe what I meant by this, again, I'm trying to remember this. She didn't feel that he was an immediate threat to her or to the children at that time.
Okay, that's
She
fair.
was the only one.
All right.
She had no
Well, I mean, and she said that she didn't feel that they were an immediate threat to them at that time. Okay. You didn't charge him with child abuse based on anything that she had said about that, did you?
No. All right. My original intention was to refer all the child abuse stuff to CID, because that was going to require forensic interviews and stuff like that, which is why I never spoke with the children. My original intention for going to that house was to arrest him for the aggravated assault on her.
Okay. And so, as far as you're aware, after you referred it to CID, those charges were never filed.
As far as I'm aware.
And the reason that you went to Mr. Beard's home without a warrant was based on exigent circumstances.
Yes, sir.
And when you arrived at Mr. Beard's home, you testified you initially knocked on the door and announced yourself, walked around. You said on direct that you heard a child yelling through an open window. Is that right?
Heard a child yelling from inside the home, yes.
But
I believe the window being open made it easier to hear, but. Yes.
But it's fair to say that the sound was just kind of kids being kids.
Yes,
There
no,
were
not
signs of
screaming. The child
distress.
was not screaming in pain or anything like that. I
No.
heard a child inside the home.
So no signs of distress.
Correct.
And in fact, after nobody had answered, let me back up. Was this arrest and your interactions with Mr. Beard in the home, was that originally recorded on your body cam?
Yes.
But that's also been destroyed.
I wouldn't say it's been
It's been
destroyed. It
lost.
was lost. Yes, sir.
I didn't mean to imply that was done.
I understand.
And after no one answered, is it fair to say that you had entertained options of either crawling through that window or kicking down the door?
I did. Yes, sir.
But Ms. Miller's sister happened to be there. She had a key. And you used that to enter the residence.
Yes, sir.
So when you're talking about how it was barricaded, did you have to like bust it open? Did it make a lot of noise, or was it just kind of like there in front
I
of the
wouldn't
door?
say that
You
it
had to,
made a lot
move
of-
it out of the way.
I'm sorry, I didn't let you finish. We pushed it out of the way. I mean, I wouldn't say that it made a lot of noise. It didn't make the noise that it would have made it had we had to kick it in or something like that.
But it didn't take a lot to get it out of the baby gate or whatever.
It took a shoulder.
It was at the height of your shoulder?
No, it took me forcing the door open with my shoulder to get past the barricade. The crib rail or whatever it was.
And again, you testified you knew that there were children inside,
Yes,
and you didn't have your guns drawn because of that.
I didn't have my gun drawn. McCampbell was behind me. I can't testify whether or not he did. I couldn't say. But no, I had my taser drawn.
At no point during your time inside the house did you point your taser at Mr. Beard or the children.
I do not believe so.
And you testified, you said that he ushered both of the kids down the hallway towards you?
Like I say, I'm not sure the best way to describe it. He sort of motioned for the kids to get up, and they started walking towards us.
Where were the children relative to Mr. Beard and yourself when you initially saw him?
I believe they were on either side of him, sitting on the bed.
And the reason that you charged him with child endangerment was that he failed to answer the door, which necessitated you making entry with your taser phone.
The reason that I charged him with child endangerment is I was there to serve a felony warrant for aggravated assault. And when we got there, he had barricaded himself inside the home with the children, which meant that we had to force entry into the home, which typically would be done with guns drawn, thereby putting these children at risk of severe bodily injury or death. And then when we got in there and found those children in the condition that they were in and fresh bruising on them, I felt it necessary to go ahead and charge him with the child abuse for that. For the totality of the circumstances of what we found when we went in there, the condition of the kids, the condition of the home, and the fact that he had barricaded himself inside of that home with those children.
Could you please, on that preliminary hearing transcript on pages 29 to 30 at the bottom, please let me know when the court asks you why did you charge him with child abuse and neglect, what specific, and then your response to that.
What are you asking?
You saw where you answered the court at the preliminary hearing, and you testified, you recall, that my basis for charging on that child endangerment, well, back up, because the TCA lists endangerment on the same statute, my basis for charging him on that child endangerment was because he barricaded himself inside the house with the kids, and the only reason we didn't go in there with guns drawn in these circumstances was because I knew that there were children. Is that what you said?
I'm sure it is.
Could you show me where you said that you charged him with child abuse or neglect based on the state of the house?
I didn't charge him with child abuse and neglect based on the state of the house. Like I said, the condition of the children and the fact that they were barricaded in their bed. He would have been charged for neglect for the state of the house, but
could you show me where in there, or, and I'm happy to answer your incident report, where you stated that you charged him with child endangerment based upon the state of the children and not because he barricaded himself in the house?
can you ask that again? Sorry.
I guess I looked at your incident report and I looked at your preliminary hearing testimony. I do not recall you ever stating until your testimony today that the basis for your charging him with child endangerment had anything to do with the state of the children or the state of the house.
I guess in my mind, the state of the children.
You referred that to CID, right?
I referred the cases of the other to follow up. Yes, I referred those to CID to follow up.
You never questioned the children about where those bruises came from?
I did not, no.
You never questioned any other witness who told you that they knew where those bruises came from?
I spoke with Justin Miller, his wife Christian, Caitlin Miller. No, I did not speak with anyone else, and I intentionally did not question the children because I'm not a forensic interviewer.
So you're making, okay. And did you have any reason to believe that anybody would have tipped Mr. Beard off that day, that the police were going to come arrest him for an assault that occurred more than a month prior?
Objection, speculation.
I'm asking him, did he receive any information that would lead to that conclusion?
Well, the question is, does he have any information? That's not speculation. It's the question of whether he did it or not.
I did not have any information from anyone that he may know we're coming.
You also, I believe, testified about an alleged marijuana pipe that was in a separate room from where he was with the children.
Yes.
To your knowledge, there was no suspected marijuana found, first of all.
Did not find any marijuana. We didn't search the house.
Okay. And to your knowledge, has that pipe ever been tested to determine whether there was any marijuana actually in it?
I'm sure it probably has not.
Now, concerning the water theft, you received some documentation from the city of Waverly that detailed the amounts. Is that right?
Correct.
I'd like to show you that document.
Yep.
Is that what you received? Is that a fair and accurate depiction?
I'm sure it is.
I'd like to make that an exhibit.
What is it?
If you would pass that to Mark, I have a copy of that, I'd like to ask you about. Well, actually. And I believe in speaking with the city, they informed you that the water had been going to the house after it was cut off since January of 2023.
I believe that's correct.
And I believe they also informed you that the lock that would have been cut off was about $20 to replace the valve.
Okay, right.
Would it help you if I showed you your incident report to refresh your memory?
That'd be fine. I'm not arguing with you if that's what they.
Well, I just want to make sure that I'm getting it
I'm
right.
sure that's probably correct. then. Oh, I see why. I see where you're going now. If I may, I can explain this. I'm sure you're going with the discrepancy between the amount of the report here and the amount that's on that. Okay.
But is it fair to say, I could retrieve that document if you're satisfied? The lock was about $20.
Right.
And service, they had been receiving water at that address without paying for it since January of 2023.
That was just my understanding.
As far as the bond violations, I think you testified that only one of the phone calls was answered, to your knowledge.
I believe that's correct, yes. That's what it is.
And all of these calls took place within this few days after him being arrested.
I believe so. I'd have to refer to that.
But let me ask you this, to your knowledge, have the calls been ongoing over a long period of time where they can find a?
To my knowledge, they were not ongoing over a long period of time. They were confined to that.
And listening to that audio, did he make any threats to her?
I'm not sure where it's relevant, but no.
Did he tell her that she'd better drop this case or else?
No.
Did he say what he was going to do when he got out of jail to her?
Don't believe so.
Was his tone mainly remorseful over the wrongs that he perpetrated during their relationship?
Again, I'm not sure where it's relevant, but yes, sure.
If I could, I do have a video that I'd like to show you. Yes, and I can show you first. I just received this very recently.
You know what I mean? I don't know where Mr. Simpson is going with this, but I would remind the court this is a bond hearing, not a jury trial.
It is a bond hearing, not a jury trial, and much of the evidence that I've heard goes to issues that are not necessarily before the court on a bond motion. And this is a video. What is the video of?
It's a video showing Mr. Beard's arrest taken from his perspective.
Showing what?
It's a video showing Mr. Officer Field arresting Mr. Beard, shot from his perspective.
And what is the relevance of that on the bond issue?
Well, the strength of the state's case goes to a factor as far as bond, and furthermore, this was testified to on direct, and so I'm just merely clarifying things.
No, no. We'll take a short recess and then we'll see the lawyers back here soon.
All rise.